what we're trying to do, I guess, in our projects, and I don't know if it's systematic, but the urban kitchen, we connect more with a sense of, you know, sort of what the original hut may have been, you know, what people would gather around where food is prepared, you know, and it's not just about guests, obviously, and it's first and foremost about family, I think. So, so that's where I think the notion of warmth is important for me. You know, I mean, again, we've all survived with less than perfect refrigerators, you know, and we're like, you know, we're renovating our own place, and my 10-year-old daughter comes up to me and says, "Dad, we're not changing the kitchen," you know, and I was really surprised, you know. It's like, so she obviously, you know, all the appliances are clunky, but she doesn't care, you know, she likes the place. So and I think when we're building a house, you know, ground up, we are looking for even a different position of the kitchen within the house, you know. Again, of course, it depends on the, you know, the context, the site, but then we make it a room that's usually more open to the outside. We're actually building a house right now, and we're building the kitchen outside of the main home, you know. And I think that says a lot. It's through materials, but it's the combination of materials that matters, you know. Just like in anything else, you know, when you're cooking or music or anything else, painting, it's the juxtaposition of things that celebrates elements, right? Or in geometry. So yeah, I think we tend to favor using wood and stone because they both age, but they age differently. And I think this notion of aging is key, at least in my work. You know, I mean, we want things to age, but we just want to make sure they age nicely, you know. And this notion of, you know, whatever we call it, soul, but for lack of a better word, I think it's important that a kitchen be the continuation of a living space, you know. And I hate the idea that you would, you know, see a kitchen and all of a sudden the story you're trying to tell as an architect is totally interrupted, you know, and you walk into this frigid space, you know, overlit, all white, you know, like an operation room. No, that's what I'm trying to avoid. The shift, probably, you know, the shift from the kitchen being a purely service space to a prominent space. I mean, it must have started right after the Second World War, right? And as society evolved, and yeah, we're seeing the culmination of it. I mean, or not, but yeah, it has become all of what you said. You know, it is status, because obviously the industry also jumped on this train. You know, so just like the car industry, you have a cheap car, you have an expensive car, you have custom made, and there's no limit, it seems, you know, now. I think, again, what the architect should do, you know, and is really try and, you know, obviously listen to the client as far as their wish list is, but again, try and explain what this profession is about. You know, I mean, this architecture is really a practice, and it's been around for as long as cities have been around, you know, 10,000 years. So, so it's very difficult. I mean, it's as if you went up to someone, you know, a writer, and you gave them bits and parts of a story, and you asked them to craft, you know, a novel, you know, around that. Actually, you would probably be giving them the you know, the last line of the story, you know. So I think that where we try and navigate is, of course, we have our own design agenda, you know. I mean, there's things we're interested in, there's a philosophy we're interested in. As far as we're concerned, we're interested in how things are put together, you know. We don't like not to express the materiality of the spaces that we built. So so it takes a lot of time to explain that, you know, and people have to be willing to learn and listen, you know, as much as we do, you know, and it's not easy for sure. It's not a linear process in the sense that obviously, like anyone else, we have products that we've used before, we've had positive feedback on, and we always keep them in mind. So we're constantly going back and forth between the potential appliances and the design, because obviously some relate more to given design than others, you know. But I think that we, from the get-go, we introduced the appliances or the fixtures that we think best reflect the overall design philosophy. And then, but it doesn't mean that they're final and selected, you know, it's just the idea of it. But we do show them in our sketches, our renderings. And then when we move forward, because just like you said, there's, you know, there's other criteria, availability, budget, finishes. And then you start looking into specific products, you know, when you're more, you know, at a more advanced stage of your design. And of course, you know, I mean, it's no longer the case, but when we would go to Milan, you know, checking out the kitchen section was always like being in a toy store, you know, and discovering all these new tech and all that. So that will have to wait.